Let's talk about perfectionism. Perfectionism is a double edged sword and it's an impossible task. Perfectionism doesn't exist except for in the eye of the beholder and the way that we create our reality um, to avoid certain experiences and create other experiences, which is where most of us come up with perfectionism. Perfectionism usually starts really early in life. It starts as a way to avoid shame, which is one of the most painful emotions that humans can experience. Perfectionism helps us avoid this feeling of I'm not good enough, or I'm bad, or I'm defective, or I'm wrong. That can be really protective, not only inside of ourselves, so we're not feeling like that, but maybe we grew up in a home where it was a bad thing to be the squeaky wheel that gets the grease, to not get negative attention, that perhaps parents had unrealistic expectations or misunderstood the behavior of their kids as being little adults as opposed to children. Perfectionism is an unconscious strategy to help us try to get our needs met for recognition, for achievement, for being seen as worthy or valuable. And something I didn't say a little bit earlier, but part of what can happen in perfectionism also is it can help us avoid this sense that I'm a failure, which is a doorway into shame. As therapists, perfectionism can show up when we are triggered by a client terminating. We can sort of blame clients for our own misattunement. That's that avoiding failure thing again. We can feel like we can't leave our notes just as they are. There's not like a good enough place. It can show up in having no hair out of place, always being impeccably dressed, never being late, not letting yourself use the bathroom when you need to, not drinking, not eating. A lot of this sort of like image and impression management can be a part of the expression of perfectionism. Now, here's the thing is that while perfectionism helps us get a lot of needs met and has a bright side, it can help us succeed in our careers. It can help us get recognition. We can have higher earning potential. We can advance in ways that maybe our peers don't because they don't have that drive. And at some point, it starts to sort of collapse on itself. It's exhaustion, the sense of dullness, hollowness. We start to sort of feel where our achievements actually aren't meeting our needs anymore. And a big sense of like a lack of intimacy can show up. Sometimes perfectionism breaks down through a seemingly external circumstance, like a job loss or a breakup or a divorce or something like that. The important thing to know is that in becoming aware of perfectionism, you can get the help that you need and heal it. It does not have to end up in burnout, although it can end up in burnout. But healing burnout can happen before it starts. Healing perfectionism can happen before it collapses and falls apart.